Cincinnati Year In Review show here for TriStateFootball.com. Tap House Grill. Dan Clasgens welcoming up the Kings Knights. Head coach Andy Olds and 4 of his players. And what a season you guys had, Coach. And we'll start with head coach Andy Olds. And back for, I'm assuming Greg's numbers here, right? Is it 13 years? Was this your 13th season at this?
That's my wife. 14th. My wife's counting 14th season.
They all start to blur together after a while, I'm sure, Coach. But let's talk about the transformation of the program during that time a little bit, though. Maybe not from, 14 years, all the programs have sort of, but really you guys have done so much over the years, and what amazing facilities the school now has, and just great reach out of support from the community.
You know what, people that come to our stadium and see some of the neat things, it didn't always used to be that way. We used to lift in the bottom of basically a basement, and guys would get drinks out of the faucets, and stand in line for 10 minutes to use the restroom with one commode and 50 guys lifting. So it always hasn't been that way. So a lot of hard work, a lot of community involvement, and we've got a lot of support from our school as well. So
interesting. This year was your last in the Fort Ancient Valley Cardinal Division. Obviously, a whole new frontier lies ahead, but your takeaway from the years of the Fort Ancient Valley Conference and what it meant, you guys had just a brief run there, and what we can expect ahead with the new conference.
Really, I played in that conference when I was a high school player. And not a lot of people know that, but it was kind of unique and kind of cool to do that at one time. But then to go through it for the last 14 years, we've come across a lot of great teams, and we really, as a team and a coaching staff, and John Cook's here tonight too, one of my offensive line coach, we talk about, being the last team to win it, was really important to us. And, we won it my first year 14 years ago, then be able to win it on the way out. It's pretty special.
Very special. What about, you look at your schedule, you guys, obviously the conference game's in there, but you ran the gamut all the way through. At which point of the season did you look at this team? You guys had a lot of expectations coming into it, I understand, but was there a point early in the season or a game or something a win of significance there that you sort of thought that, man, this team's going to be as good as advertised?
I think the game 3 with Harrison, we'd never beaten Harrison, and the old adage, the best teams don't always win. Well, they beat us a couple times, and they weren't that much better than us, and we just didn't play well, and they played really well. But then that win, and then Lebanon, we had a really good running back to, I think, 28 yards, and I think he ended up with,
yeah, he's one of our honorable mention all Tri-States, Aaron Abbott.
He ended up with All-Stater, like 2,700 yards, and to only give up 33 yards to him. Then I said, our defense, I knew our defense was special, but, that kind of set the tone for everything, and just we rolled from there.
You guys, Coach, being the season rewind, talk about the way it ended for you. Didn't go as you'd hoped. Second straight year, you guys fall in the Region 8 finals there. But Trotwood-Madison, if you're going to get beat by a state champ.
I didn't know this until the end, but we lined up against Trotwood-Madison. They had 11 guys that had BCS offers. So I'm talking to Coach Finch from Wittenberg, and I said, Coach, how many BCF offer guys you got on your team? And these guys started laughing. I said, we played against 11. And we were up 20-0 at halftime, and I don't know if our fans were in shock or what, but we weren't in shock. We knew how good they were. We knew we had a pretty good team, and everything went right for us the first half. We had done things to that team that no one's ever done, and held them. And we thought that if we come out at halftime and score one more time, that we thought it was just going to crumble. And sure enough, they rose to the occasion. They played some great football, and made us play not as good as we probably could play, but a great collection of athletes, and I think we'll see a lot of those Trotwood guys probably someday play on Sunday. So our kids worked hard, had a wonderful season, and we have a lot to be thankful for.
Very, very well said, Coach. Let's talk with Brady, and we've got the defense here on my left and the offense on the right. I think we started chanting or something. I don't know, but Brady, we already had you up here on the previous segment, so without trying to be redundant, you were an underclassman that very valuable cog to this team. I mean, coming in, obviously you led by your play, but how did this guy here, Sean, and some of the other seniors, how did they help you, get to that, level of play, and how's that going to help you moving in next year when it's your turn to be a top?
Well, starting off, I couldn't do anything without the other guys. We all play as a team, and we practice hard together, and I feel like if you know what you're doing, you're going to play hard, and we just kind of rose to the occasion when it came to the game time. And coming in next year, they really, they're leaving something special, something to rise to, and I hope I can do it.
Talk about, and we've got one of them up here with us, but maybe some of the other guys on defense that were underclassmen too that you're looking forward to having back with you next year.
Max Lear, the other linebacker we have, Nick Collado, he was out injured with a head injury, and he's coming back. I'm expecting big things from him.
All right, well, we're expecting big things from you guys. I'll be looking forward to watching that. Let's talk about the guy you won't have with you next year, and that's senior Sean Horan. And Sean, Division II third-team All-Ohio selection. Big part of both runs to that Region 8 finals the last 2 years. You led the FABC with 4 fumble recoveries to go along with 4 forced fumbles. Sean, your career has been pretty prolific there. You've had a big part since you really started playing varsity a few years ago. What do you think is going to be the thing you're going to miss the most now as you walk away, you graduate here soon, and you look back to your high school days?
Just about the team chemistry and team camaraderie. It was great hanging with these guys on the field and playing hard with them, but the thing I might miss the most would probably be hanging with them off the field. We built up such a good friendship on the field that it carried to the locker room and outside.
When you guys started the season, I mean, a lot of expectations. We had you guys as #1 in Division II for most of the year in our rankings. Do you think those expectations served as more as a motivator, or was it a positive or a negative type of pressure on the team as a whole?
I would say definitely a motivator. With those kind of expectations, you have people that doubt you, and those people that doubted us definitely motivated us. And these guys on the team are big competitors, so they just wanted to rise to the occasion that we had.
All right, let's talk some offense, and we'll move right along here. And the big fellow to my right, Kennedy Cook, another underclassman that really is making a name for himself and quickly becoming one of the most decorated linemen in Region 8 after his 2nd straight Division II Special Mention All-Ohio. The Knights, Greg hit on it before, over 300 yards of total offense, 200 of that have come on the ground the past 2 years, and you've been a big part of that. You guys as a whole, I mean, what makes your guys' offensive line so dominant at times? Especially during the FABC play, you guys just flat out leveled opponents on some nights.
Well, I mean, we're a close bunch. I mean, I got some of my best friends on the line, our center and our tackle and our other guard, and we're losing our left tackle, John Minyard, and he was the only senior. But I mean, when we played, we just had a mentality to get after it and get nasty, and we always recorded knockdowns, and we always competed after or during the game who had the most knockdowns, and we'd always come in after Monday morning or Saturday morning for films, and everybody'd be like, "Oh, watch that, watch what happened." I mean, we'd always compete, and then we were just a really close bunch, and I'm glad that we're gonna have everybody back, and one of our other linemen, Nick Squires, he's going to compete for a job, so I'm really glad that we have the whole line coming back next year.
Kennedy, from your mentality as a lineman, I mean, you guys, obviously you don't get all the glitz and glamour of the skill positions. A lot of these guys get overlooked. There's not even a lot of stats that are kept at the high school level to record your performance. So for measuring, you made an impact last year, you definitely came back this year and got better. I mean, how do you grade yourself as far as your improvement, and what is it you're going to work on this offseason?
Well, from my sophomore year to junior year, I got a lot better, and just with my feet and my pass block. But from my junior and my senior year, I just need to work on staying with blocks and staying on a guy and not going off for another safety when I'm on a D lineman or a linebacker. So I just need to get better at that and get better at my technique more. So.